They say when a human drifts to sleep, sometimes they leave their humanness at the gate, and they step across as something else. Tonight's dreamer, Lana, yes, that's her name, has taken the form of a sheep who seems to be unraveling, piece by piece. Few know that the threshold of sleep is guarded by a machine, yet the machine turns without pause, day and night, hidden gears spinning like stars across the sky. And with each turn, the machine decides who shall be guided into dreams and what story is waiting for them there. But tonight's story is about Lana. It was a winter in her life, a season where she sought shelter in her dreams. It was here she arrived as a sheep, bewildered, unsure how she had arrived. The machine turned before her, odd metal pods sliding into place, like carriages for ghosts. Yet even though Lana did not know where she was, or how she had arrived, she was not afraid. In truth, she felt very little at all. It had been that way for some time. A low rumble broke her thoughts. She gazed at the machine. It looked back, steady and unblinking. In its turning came a voice. Bored now, guest. The journey won't wait longer. Without knowing why, Lana stepped inside. As the metal pod carried Lana forward, she sank into the very thoughts she had been trying to escape. George. In the dreamlands, he would be a goat, perhaps, but to her now, he was George the ghost. Lana exhaled, allowing the pod's gentle sway to cradle her. She had known him only 3 weeks. George. Magnetic, self-assured. Her mind drifted back to that Saturday night. It had been magical. The city had glowed with jazz that evening. She fell for the contemplation in his eyes, and for the small, disarming moment when he slid her bag from her hand and pressed a kiss to it, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. When George returned from yet another grand escape, a vacation gilded with the wealth of his family, Lana wanted to lose herself inside his memories, but instead, she couldn't help but feel she might never belong in his new ones. So Lana listened, nodded at the right moments, searched for the right questions, carefully burying any clue that she couldn't relate to him. "So, how about you?" George had asked politely. It was then that the night's spell cracked. Lana's story had been summoned, but she found no tale worth giving, nothing that might earn his wonder. So she leaned on the jazz and on the drinks that burned warm in her chest. But with one sip too many, out slipped the truth. That she felt ordinary, unsparkly. And when his eyes met hers, she felt like bread gone stale, no longer worth his butter. On Sunday, she walked out of his bedroom without coffee. Monday, she returned to work. Tuesday, she didn't hear anything from him. By the weekend, she wished she'd still cared. After that, she let herself drift. Unread texts went unanswered, books piled up, untouched in the closet. "But life is good, right?" she told those who asked. "At least I'm not drowning, right?" Yet it all felt like George in the end. Something Lana tried to care for, but she couldn't, not for long. The winter stretched inside her like a wire pulled too tight. Lana was dissociated. Yes, that's the word. I've heard of this. is when humans feel like they're floating away, when the body is present, but the self feels elsewhere. When conversations slip by, and you wonder if you are real at all, or just a figment watching your own life from afar. Yes, dissociation. It happens to the very best of us. But look, the lanterns, they rise glowing against the dark, carried from the festival. Lana doesn't know it yet, but she's heading straight there. And you are coming too. Lana's life, both awake and dreaming, may feel tangled and confusing, but she's about to step into a place where many creatures feel the same. She'll learn that these feelings are not strange at all. They are a part of being alive. There is nothing wrong with Lana, and there is nothing wrong with you either. Sometimes dissociation is just a signal. So stay with us in this little pod. Lana won't mind sharing. Watch the lanterns drift past, their lights, gifts from strangers at the festival. Good night, traveler. Breathe deep. Our stories are still unfolding.